What's good? What's good, everyone? Welcome. Going to get in here. We're going to go ahead and get into a discussion, man, because, and I'm not even going to recap. I already know that I owe you guys some episodes, and I promise you they are coming. They've already been recorded. I'm just doing the editing on the videos. But right now, personally, I'm very frustrated, and I just got to get this shit off my chest some way or another, right? So for those of you that don't know, I live in the state of Tennessee. I live in the city of Nashville. If you've been following any portion of media right now, you would have seen Nashville all over the news for the past couple of weeks, right? So a week or so ago, we had a school shooting at the Covenant School here in Nashville where 6 people lost their lives, well, 7 including the shooter, but 6 innocent people, 3 children and 3 adults lost their lives to a senseless school shooting. And it's been all of this talk about gun violence and gun laws and gun, restrictions and things of that nature. So it hit hard here in Nashville, where immediately there was a call for there to be changes. So immediately people headed for the state capitol. People wanted to know why there are so many issues when it comes to this whole restriction of guns. But long story short, while that whole situation was going down with the protests, there were 3 brave individuals who stood in the middle of what they call the well at the state capitol here in Tennessee, and they stood where those protesters stood, and they simply said, "We agree and we want to seek change as well." With them breaking protocol, that they broke the rules of the House, and there had to be some type of penalty that went with that. So they decided within 1 or 2 days that they were going to have a hearing, and they were going to decide if these 3 individuals, now known as the Tennessee 3, would have the opportunities to keep their daggone job, or they were going to be ousted, or in other words, expelled from their roles, right? Which is senseless, because I thought that as a representative for the state, or any state that you reside in, that you're pretty much standing up for the people that you represent. You are their representative. But if the motherfuckers in the House are not doing what they're supposed to do, then somebody needs to pull their card and tell them, y'all are not doing an adequate job, and we need somebody in office that's going to do the job. This is not what we voted you in for, to sit up here and gaslight us. Like, that's essentially what you guys have been doing this whole time. And it's quite ridiculous, man, because these 3 individuals had to stand publicly one-on-one for themselves, 2 blacks, 1 white lady, and they had to pretty much stand up and vouch for themselves and give the majority Republican Party within the House, a reason why they could keep their jobs, right? So it's so funny, because now let me go ahead and say this before I dive any deeper into this conversation. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. What I am is an independent thinker, and what I say is I'm for any motherfucker that's in office that's going to do what I want them to do. I don't care if you were a guinea pig. If you for the guinea pigs and you were a guinea pig or whatever the fuck, as long as you are doing what I need you to do for me and for my family, and we see eye to eye, I'm going in there and I'm putting my vote down for the guinea pig, right? That's just how I am. That's how I was raised, man. I don't show any daggone loyalty to either party. So now, with me saying that, my stance on that, this is the effed up part about it. You got these 3 individuals who are standing in place, and they're taking the side for the individuals who have lost their lives. You got these people who have lost their lives in another senseless shooting to somebody who had a mental issue. And they're talking about, oh, it's not the guns. Well, how was the muff able to get guns to begin with? And then I'm just baffled, man, because I'm telling you, so we have gun shows where I live at least every other week. Gun shows where people are going to purchase guns. And one time, my family and I were going up there to take some pictures, and it's this whole huge site, man. And I saw a guy, no lie, no cap, with a rocket launcher, and I'm like, what in the hell does he need a rocket launcher for? Like, are we going to war? I really don't know why we need all of these things, man. Like, what are we doing? Are we just normal civilians, or are we getting ready to go into World War III? I don't know, but it's very telling that the people that I see with these types of weapons, why are they able to get these weapons? And then most of the time, these are the same daggone folks that are shooting up these schools or shooting in these public places. Now, I know in our community, and I'm going to keep it 100, I'm going to keep it above, I know that we already have our own individual situation within our own black communities. And I can admit that. We need to do a lot better job when it comes to taking care of our own, policing our own. Everything doesn't need to be taking place with the police coming, because we already know how that's going to go. But we need to get a whole new hold or understanding on what it means to be a neighbor, and how to deal with things or shit that goes on in our neighborhood. I'm going to leave that at that. That's a whole different discussion. But right now, we're talking about these three brave individuals. Now, I don't know none of these folks personally, but what I do know is that they took the side of the protesters who wanted change. Some of those individuals came down there from the school. Young kids, Gen Zers, came down and they wanted their voices to be heard. That's all I know. So you have Gloria Johnson. Gloria Johnson was the only woman that was up there. The first guy, Justin Jones, I believe that was his name. You know, he's a Democrat. But Justin Jones, he was one of the individuals that was voted out. His vote, I believe, was like 69 to 26. I think that was it. No, actually, I take that back. It was like 72 to 25. So that means 75 people voted that man out, and then 25 people was like, nay. Now, remind you, it's 99 people in the House. So most of these folks in this Republican-ran House didn't hear anything that he conveyed to them. All they wanted to know is, nigga, you broke decorum and you gotta be gone, bruh. And it's so funny because when Gloria Johnson came up, the only white lady in this Tennessee 3, you know, they voted and she was saved. Ironically, you know, she gave the white tears and all this stuff, and she was allowed to keep her position. But she was, a lot of her committee roles and all of that thing, those things were taken away from her. So she was stripped of those things there. So she's still able to keep her job and keep a steady paycheck coming in, but she's no longer able to do her job. So what the hell is that? Like, okay. Anyhow, and then last but not least, you have Justin Pearson from Memphis. He lost his role. He was ousted. He was expelled. So both Justins were expelled, and Miss Gloria was able to keep her job. And they asked Gloria after the fact what happened, And Gloria was like, I really can't explain to you what happened, but the only thing I feel that saved me was the color of my skin. What the fuck? Like I said, this right here is ridiculous, man. And they know exactly what they're doing, and they don't want to let it go. They don't want to let this power go. And what I'm trying to tell these folks out here, as long as we continue to not vote, as long as people keep sitting up here like my vote doesn't matter, they're going to keep doing this stuff, man. There's so much I could talk to y'all about this stuff, man. But I want to know, how do you guys feel about this? And I'm going to show you a video of Pearson, and I'm going to show you a couple of videos just so you can look at. Secondly, there's this image of this rapper, I believe his name is NLE Choppa, and he's in this image with two women, and they are on all fours, and he's pulling them by their hair like a leash, and they're walking like they're dogs, right? And they're half dressed, of course. But on this image, I found it very interesting because these are the same women that would ask for respect. And I believe that everyone, first and foremost, everybody deserves respect. You should not treat anybody how they don't want to be treated. Like, if they want to be treated a certain way, you should treat them that way. But for me, being a grown-ass man with a daughter of my own, with a wife of my own, I find it interesting that you will portray yourself in this light publicly for everyone in the world to see. And I'm always drawn to this question in my mind: why is it always our women that do shit like this? I'm really trying to understand it. And I'm going to show you this image very quickly. But I just find it ironic that I know we're not the only ones that do this, but why is it that we don't see it publicly with everyone else to the extent that it is for us? And then we're always asking for respect, and we want people to respect us as a group of people. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that it's going to be hard as hell to get people to respect you when you don't show respect for yourself. I just don't get it, man. If I saw my daughter doing this, if I seen any shit like this, it would be over immediately. I'm just hoping that we can do a lot better. I'm not really going to get into this whole situation real deep. I just think that we got to do a better job just talking about what we need to do to be better, man. And even I think the little rapper, not the little rapper, but Little Mama, she issued her own little response to this situation, and when she addressed it, man, they went in on her. Like, what the hell? Like, nobody is open for just having an opinion. If you have an opinion, or if you have a righteous opinion about something, somebody's going to feel a way about it, and then they're going to go into your past and tell you what you haven't been doing. You ain't hot right now, little mama. You need to sit down somewhere. You just trying to go for clout. No, I think she honestly had a great point of view. And she said, I feel like women these days will know better and still play a role in setting us back centuries. I don't know about you, but I don't want our daughters to remember us like this or feel this is what they need to do to survive. And if that's anybody comes up here within in 2023, that's cap. I absolutely agree. We got to think about shit like 100 years from now. Like, I got to set the right tone for my son. I got to set the right tone for my daughter. If I come out here and, I'm wilding out and I'm doing all this wild shit on social media, that shit never goes away. It's there. And I know people are like, man, live your life, live free, do whatever the hell you want to do. Do what you want to do. But you do know that eventually you're going to grow old. If you're given that opportunity, if you're blessed enough to have that opportunity, you're going to grow old one day and you're going to be sitting there like, what the hell was I thinking? Or you may not. I don't know. Last but not least, I want to talk about Miss Angel Reese, right? The basketball player for LSU. So she's been receiving a lot of heat from all different places, mostly people that don't look like us. Let's just keep it real. But going from a negative story that we just talked about to a positive story. And what I mean by a positive story, you have a young lady here that knew exactly what she wanted to say. And she said it. And I'm standing in my truth, and I'm speaking for young ladies that look like me, right? Regardless of not if people really understand it or really want to know who she is, I'm just focused on this is a beautiful young lady who has her future fully in front of her. And what she does from here on out will justify what comes down the pipeline later, right? But so many people, instead of encouraging her, they, as she stated in the interview on the press conference after the game, they've been telling her she's too hood, she's too this. Instead of lifting her up, they've been tearing her down. And it's just not the others. It's been our own people as well. Like here in Nashville, we got a dude by the name of Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock went in. He had a whole full 1 or 2 hour episode talking about the whole situation with Angel Reese and how she was so disrespectful and how she did all of this stuff and blamed her for the situation. Listen here, bro. Angel Reese didn't do anything. It's a competitive sport. People do that all the daggone time. They put their hands up in their face. I believe, what's his name? The other guy the cat from LSU that plays football for the Cincinnati Bengals right now. What's his name? Joe Burrow. That man did the very same thing. After LSU Tigers won that championship game, he put his hands up and pointed to his ring finger. Nobody cares when it's on the flip side of the coin. At the end of the day, this is a competitive sport. And, I mean, feelings get into it. It is what it is. As long as you don't put hands on people, it's good energy. It's competitiveness. Shit, I mean, I don't even play basketball. I'm too old for that shit now. I don't even play basketball, but I can still feel it. Like if my son and my daughter are doing something, I'm in it. My energy is in it. Who are we to sit up there? And this is another thing that's killing me about this situation. Who are we to tell niggas when to get over that shit? I'm just being real. Who are we to sit up and tell just get over it? Accept the apology and get over it. First of all, listen, I'm going to digress with all this. All I'm saying is congratulations to the women of LSU. Bump what the rest of these people are talking about. You guys achieved a great monumental achievement with this win, your first championship. People are always going to have something to say because it's ironic that even the I forget her name, the little white girl that started this whole situation, because she was actually doing the move herself previously in the previous game against South Carolina, but then nobody pointed out as a negative thing. They said, oh, she's fierce. What the hell? Listen, man, I ain't gonna get on no political shit, but I'm just trying to tell you guys that this stuff right here is what I'm talking about. What goes for me doesn't go for her. What goes for me doesn't go for him. What in the world are we doing here? We need to get over it. Stop being so daggone judgmental. Look at it for what it is. She said what she said, and she meant what she said, just like I feel about it. And I'm saying what I mean, and I mean what I'm saying. All right? So it may not came out right, but this is from my heart. At the end of the day, do what's best for you. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to preach to y'all. I'm not going to preach to y'all no more. But I had some shit I had to get off my chest, man. Because I feel like there's a whole... We can recap. We can talk about these episodes. We can talk about all this stuff that is not real. But at the same time, we as a people got to talk about what's real. And that's across the whole diaspora. not just here in America, not just in the UK, not in Africa, not, it is what it is. We have to stay strong. We have to stay focused because these folks out here don't give a damn. And that's real talk. But anyway, I'm going to sign off right here. Let me know how you enjoyed this. Is this okay for me to do? I don't know. I know y'all come to me to recap, talk about these shows, laugh about these shows, cry about these shows. And I just want to know your thoughts. If you've heard anything, how do you feel about it? Secondly, I got some news real quick. I do have some new shows. Like I said earlier, I'm getting ready to upload. I got the new Zach Tima's coming. I got Ghost coming for Power. I got another show. I think it's Fresh Prince Bel-Air. Bel-Air is coming. So all of this stuff is either dropping in the morning. I know one for sure. One or two of them are going to drop tonight, at least by 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock. I'm sorry. And Bel-Air and the other one will probably be out in the morning. So I got them coming. I just needed to get this off my chest, man, and I appreciate you guys for listening. As always, please like and subscribe to this daggone channel, man, because we're going to get back into this. And also down below, let me know if there are any other shows, black shows, or anything that you guys want to go back and look at. It could be some old movie shit. We could talk about it. So anyway, I'm about to head up out of here. Till next time, peace.